Hello, Journey family and friends. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you.
All right, Pastor John and Pastor Dustin with you in Midweek Conversations. Just a couple days away, Pastor Dustin.
I know. It's enough time that if you've been bad all year, maybe you can turn it around and maybe Santa would still come.
I'm not sure about that.
Not sure about that.
I'm not sure about
Not
that.
enough time to turn it around. Well, you can be a blessing to somebody else. Still time to Christmas shop.
Amen.
So there is a couple more days to Christmas shop, but
Yeah.
as we've reflected on this year, it's just been a great year and so many things to be grateful for, and thank you for your prayers. God's just been, it's been a fun year. It's been good.
It has been. Well, we've got a couple of things we want to look back on. First of all, Pastor Dustin concluded the signs of Christmas, great message through Jesus, anything's possible, some powerful stories, testimonies. I encourage you to look at that.
Matter of fact, I wanna at the end of this, we'll tag Sarah Smith's testimony. That was such a powerful testimony, and I want as many people to hear that as possible. So at the end of this, if you didn't see that, she's got a great story.
Well, and what the 930 group didn't hear, maybe we could just kind of hit right now, is that, you mentioned that Sarah was a nurse through COVID, and a couple of patients that she took care of in COVID were
two of our pastors' wives that were in the hospitals, seriously in the hospital due to COVID. Many of us remember both Sandra and Crystal, and we prayed for them. And part of the reason 930 didn't hear that, because her story is so powerful, I shared it, but then it's even more powerful because after the first service, people were like, well, she was the nurse of so-and-so, and I said, no way.
For Crystal and Sandra, yeah. Crystal Tomlinson
and Sandra. When you put that together, it's just, that even more solidifies through Jesus.
When you told me that, it was almost like one of those things like, you're making that up.
I know.
That's not true, but it is true. She was a nurse and during COVID. So hang around after we're done and take a look at Sarah's thing. So just a great series that we were able to do, just a new look at everybody's welcome. Nobody's perfect through Jesus. Anything's possible. And had great, let's back up a few days before that, Christmas bash for our students. So we had another great gathering here for middle school, high school students, kind of the end of the year, last gathering. Lake County students came over, I think. And we're a part of that. And 224 middle school and high school students.
It was
unbelievable.
It was an incredible Christmas party. My kids are texting me throughout the night, just telling me how incredible it was. So many people, and just so you know, when we do a back to school bash, that's a really advantageous time to bring everybody together. The Christmas bash, and I agree with doing it. It's a great exclamation point to the year.
Yeah.
But it's a tough time. People have finals. There's a lot of sporting events, and we knew that going into it. And so the student ministry team kind of brace themselves for whatever, and then for God to show up with that many kids. The gospel was presented.
Yeah, way to go, Josh Tiaga.
Josh Tiaga presented a great message, heard so many incredible stories, including one girl, a senior in high school. So that would make her 17, 18 years old.
Exactly.
Never stepped foot into a church until last Wednesday. And that's just the power of student ministry. Yeah. She loved it. And so it's just really, really proud of the student ministry team. It was a great night.
Well, and then on Sunday, out of the student ministry, two more middle school students were baptized.
Yep.
Trey and Ben, a couple of our residents did baptisms. It did great. And these were special baptisms this weekend because the heater was out. Lead pastors need to take care of stuff like that. So I'm not sure what Pastor Dustin's doing.
It wasn't out at both campuses.
It wasn't.
The Lake County heater was working.
We need to get to Lake County separately in just a moment, but I'm telling you, that water was refreshing. It was a refreshing plunge that Scott and Julia and Tammy all took with me.
Yes.
Yeah, that was good. But out at the...
You didn't have a good poker face.
I know. Well, when you feel that and you're not prepared for that, because here's the deal. The last time I did a baptism a week before, it was almost like too hot. It was like a hot tub. I mean, almost like we're going to scald the sins off of you as we put them under, and this week we froze them off. It was exhilarating, and Lake County they had their own issues, not to do with the baptistry. The power went out. They lost power at the end of 9:30, and it wasn't in our room. It was something that Duke Energy was doing.
It was the grid, basically.
It was the grid. It was crazy. And lights weren't out. Power wasn't out everywhere. Pastor Russell, he did great. He just improvised and revised some things and really shared your message in person.
Yep.
He was able to look through, had about a half hour to look through your message, personalize it, customize it, and I heard it was incredible. Pastor Dustin.
So we're talking the first service was good. Second service is what they had to kind of make
service,
shift.
11:15.
So Pastor Russell, here's the message, and here's the thing. If there's any message you don't want to preach, it's this message, because there were 3 videos.
Yeah.
And that I kind of used, and he wasn't able to use them. And so I heard story after story about how not just Pastor Russell, but the whole team did at just making it a great experience. And not only that, they got to baptize somebody at the second service. How cool is that?
A baptism in the middle of, an interruption we weren't counting on, a limitation that we had, and yet God shows up, and there was a baptism.
Cool.
So 6 baptisms this past Sunday.
What an awesome Sunday.
In both places. So it was great. So proud of all of our Lake County team. Huge shout out, led by Pastor Russell. So grateful for what's going on there. And this Saturday, let's shift to Christmas Eve, because it is Christmas Eve on Saturday.
Yep.
So let's remember that. All of the services are going to be on Christmas Eve. We're going to give everybody a chance that's on staff to be with their families on Christmas Day, as most people are going to do anyhow. So there's no services at either campus on Sunday, December 25th. That's a Christmas Day, Christmas celebration, everybody, family, and friends. However, you can get on demand the Christmas Eve service. So if you've missed Christmas Eve in some way and somebody jumps on our website, you can get the Christmas Eve service. But so let's start here, Pastor Dustin. Let's go over the times again.
Yep. Now, I think last week it was, we didn't know.
I know them now.
I know them now too.
Do you? Good. We did a little homework, didn't we?
Yeah. I turned over here and there's nobody over there.
And they're here. Look here. Look over there.
So we have 1:30.
1:30.
3.
3.
4:30.
4:30.
6.
6.
And
At Apopka.
At Apopka. Yeah.
And Lake County is
3.
3.
4:30.
4:30.
And 6.
And 6.
All PM.
Yes,
So,
all PM.
All in the afternoon, early
and
evening.
online can join us at any of those times on Saturday.
Yep.
And then after the services are done on Saturday, you can see that service on demand.
Yep. So we have 7 in-person, 4 different options online, and I would love for you to be able to catch one of those, gather the family maybe around the fireplace or the living room and watch it if you can't make it in person. If you can make it in person, we keep saying this because we mean it. It is such a great opportunity to invite a neighbor, a friend, a coworker, and I can't think of a better gift to give somebody than the gift of Jesus. And so this is a great opportunity to do just that.
I invited somebody from my gym.
Oh, that's cool.
This past week, and I hope they come.
That's awesome.
Hope you've invited a friend as well, a neighbor, a coworker, a great opportunity, and you can digitally invite them by going to this link and doing that. So the service, there is children's ministry only for early childhood.
Yep.
So pre-K, right?
Yes, sir. Birth to pre-K.
Birth to pre-K, those ministry rooms will be open for all 4 services in Apopka, all 3 of the services in Lake County. Online, I don't know what you do for your pre-K, but they'll take care of that, right?
On the hip.
Yeah. So
elementary kids are welcome.
And it's a child-friendly service.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Christmas music, of course.
Yep.
We love Christmas music.
Message is a little shorter.
Message is a little shorter.
Yeah.
But because it is on the weekend, communion will be a part of the service.
Yep, we will have communion.
We'll have communion, and we will close with our traditional candlelight service. Always look forward to that, singing Silent Night. It'll be fun. So it's going to be great. Looking forward to sharing. Just the whole theme of the message is good news. We have good news of great joy to share, and I'll be doing that message. I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you this Saturday, Christmas Eve.
Amen. It's going to be good. Looking forward to seeing you and your family, and want to encourage you, would you be not only looking to invite somebody, but would you be praying for the staff, the volunteers? This is a time where people serve multiple services, so we want to be mindful of that and be praying for our team, and would love your prayers.
Hey, from Pastor Dustin and myself, we just again want to wish you the merriest of Christmas and hope it's just a real blessed time for you, for your family and your friends and everybody you're gathering with. We love you and we're loving the journey, and stick around and watch this special story. You don't want to miss this from Sarah Smith.
Hi, my name is Sarah Smith, and I have been coming to Journey Christian Church for 3.5 years. I knew before Easter in 2019 that I was supposed to be going back to church. I had been a follower in my teens, and I ran from God for 20 years. And so I just Googled a church that I can wear jeans and t-shirts to in Apopka. And Journey was the first church that came up. Me and my family came that Easter in 2019. I said the prayer that day in 2019, and I asked Jesus back into my heart. And it was kind of a rocky start because I wasn't brave enough to go up front. So it took a while for me to believe it, to believe that he wanted me back. Background to that is I was drinking alcohol every day for at least 5 years. It was the first thought in my head in the morning, and it was the last thought in my head at night. And most of the time, as the room was spinning and I'm going to bed, I'm asking God, can you please break me free of this? Because I can't break free of this. So I'm reading my Bible. One evening, I read where Jesus said, you are not to get drunk. And everything changed in that moment. I had about a week where I thought about it and I wanted to, but I knew I could never go back. I knew that I was set free, that these chains of addiction that I had been tied by and shackled to for years were broken. I've not gotten drunk since that moment. I've not sought alcohol, I've not craved it. And the coolest thing is this was for a purpose that I can help other people. And that's the great thing about following God, is that no matter what you've been through or what terrible thing you've done, if you give it to him, if you give him your injury and your pain, he will use it for something beautiful. And I've seen that time and time again in my life and other people's lives. And I was able to come in and start serving and start making friends. And all I can say is that because of what I've seen happen in my life, that there is absolute joy in being obedient to God. And that the peace that comes with trusting him, the peace that grows like a wildfire, the more you trust him, is unexplainable. And I know, because I tried so long to do it on my own, I know that my life story in these last 3 years are just proof that with Jesus, anything is possible. And not just for me, for anybody who believes, anybody who calls him Lord, anybody who calls him Savior.